Well, hello folks. Today on the Urban American Outdoor Show, we're in Missoula, Montana. We're working with the U.S. Forest Service. And one of the cool things about this show is we're going to be dealing with research, fire, forestry, biologists. And most importantly, we just want to open your eyes to what's available to you out here. So I want you to sit back, relax. I'm Wayne Hubbard, and you're watching the Urban American Outdoor Show.
You never know when, but thieves can steal your identity and turn your life upside down.
Hi.
Hi. You know, I can save you 15% today if you open up a charge card account with us.
You just read my mind.
Just one little piece of information, and they can steal your credit, your money, and ruin your reputation. That's why you need LifeLock to help stop crooks before your identity is attacked. And now you can have the most comprehensive identity theft protection available today. LifeLock Ultimate. So for protection you just can't get anywhere else, get LifeLock Ultimate.
Call 800-306-5415 or go to lifelock.com and try LifeLock protection risk-free for 60 days. No risk means there is no reason to wait another minute. Use promo code COVER. Get LifeLock protection risk-free for 60 days. Protect what you've earned. Call 800-306-5415. Use promo code COVER.
I'm Wayne Hubbard, host of Urban American Outdoor Show, inviting you to join us every week for a different kind of outdoor experience. We showcase a variety of unique locations from around the world for everyone, where we put the urban and outdoors, whether you like hunting, fishing, cooking, or just getting your party on. Urban American Outdoors is a place to be to learn those techniques that make your next outing a great one. Don't let this one get away. It's Urban American Outdoors, the outdoors from a different perspective. Folks, I'm here with Mike. Everybody wants to be like Mike. You know how that is. So, and I'm not talking about Michael Jordan. I'm not talking about Mike Tyson. I'm talking about the one and only Mike, the scientist. Life is good.
My name is Mike Schwartz. I'm the director of the Wildlife Genetics Lab at the Rocky Mountain Research Station. So we get to provide the science to help inform management. And so when managers have a question, they might want to know something about the population size of a rare species. They may want to know how connected populations are as the landscape changes. We're the ones that are fortunate enough to get to do the science that can investigate those questions. And we do that by using DNA. I was a field biologist working on the ecology of various species, both marine biology, marine species, and terrestrial species. And I just found that genetics was this really useful tool. I mean, it's just so powerful. We could learn things about species that we could never learn any other way. So I could spend months and months and months in the remotest corners of the earth and still not be able to learn what I could learn from a single hair of an individual. We get that hair, we extract the DNA, and we can learn so much. It's such a fantastic history book of the animal, of the landscape that's been influencing the animal. And it's really helping us solve a lot of our natural resource mysteries. It's really important to me to be able to provide the science and the scientific data to the natural resource managers, the people that are responsible for making the very difficult decisions on our national forests. And I love getting out onto the forests. I love getting out of the office, out of the genetics lab, exploring the forest when I can. And I like to know that our lab has played a role in providing data that can help them make the best decisions possible for the great resources that we have and that we're real fortunate to be able to have here in the United States. We really are natural history meets CSI. And we can't solve things in the space of a commercial. Well, that's our limitation, but we really do. We really use these forensic approaches. We draft right behind the human genome, pick off all their tools, and we use all those forensic tools that you see on TV. We use those to solve natural resource problems. And it is just like CSI. And we get all excited when we listen to watch TV and all of a sudden we hear, hey, wait, we have that machine. They're talking about the machine that we have in our lab, and we're going to use that to solve these mysteries that are on our national forests.
So you guys are truly CSI Wildlife.
Absolutely.
My name is Christy Pilgrim, and I'm a federal researcher here with the Forest Service, and I supervise our wildlife genetics lab. We've been in existence about 12 years. We were started from a cooperative project between Forest Service Management, Region 1, here in the northern part of the Forest Service, and now we work on numerous species. And currently the project that I'm working on is a genetic evaluation of mountain lion, also known as cougar, puma, panther, here in the United States, and specifically our questions, and we've been partnering with numerous managers in the Midwest and the East. As cougar populations have increased in the West, we are getting dispersers that are moving across the plains and showing up in places like Kansas and Oklahoma and Minnesota. So what I'm doing here is I'm aliquoting. I'm taking a subsample of some of our cougar DNA samples so that I can perform analysis on them. Okay. And now these samples are ready to be put into a PCR reaction, which is basically a nice way to make lots and lots of copies of DNA so that we can analyze it and work with it in the future. So I'm going to show you an example of one of our freezers. And in here, you can see these are numerous boxes that contain DNA samples from a variety of our species that we work on. For example, fishers, cougars, bobcats. Gulo is wolverine. There's also sculpins, this little fish that we work on. And in every one of these racks, we have numerous boxes, and each one contains frozen DNA from a variety of projects. So we can work with starting materials such as blood, tissue, hair, scat or feces of an animal. And a lot of our projects with mountain lions are sometimes people see an animal and then the wildlife officials can go collect a scat or a hair sample off of a fence or something, send us that sample, and we can try and see, first of all, does it match any known study animals in our database, and then use the genetic signature that we can get from those animals to try to figure out where they're coming from. You know, are they coming from Texas? Are they coming from South Dakota? What are the breeding populations that these animals are then typically young 2-year-old males are moving eastward from? It is so cool because we can get so much information from animals without even having to ever catch them. So a lot of what our lab does is work entirely on, not entirely, but largely on non-invasive samples. And the question is, somebody thinks they saw a grizzly bear in the field. Can you tell us if it's really a grizzly bear? Because if it's a grizzly bear and it's in this location, that's huge news. It's a big deal, you know? That's cool. So that's an example of CSI Wildlife.
Missoula, Montana, where we're with CSI Wildlife. We're bringing the heat from you, and we only do it one way. That's Urban America style. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I'm Cindy Swanson, and I am the program manager for Human Dimensions at the Rocky Mountain Station, and that's social science, economics, the human side of research. We do a lot of studies on why people move where they move. You know, the Rocky Mountain West, interior West, is seeing huge growth in populations. If you've spent some time in Montana now, there's just something about living in this environment that is so captivating. It's pretty, it's clean, we still have wide open spaces. It's just a magical place to be. You know, another thing that working for the Forest Service, particularly in research, we have a lot of programs that help you go to school, provide you support networks, mentors. And you know, it's one of those things, if you like science, you can live anywhere in the country and be part of Forest Service research. So you come to Montana and you're one of those few people that don't love it and fall in love with it. The ability to go somewhere else, California, Atlanta, it's very easy to be mobile in a research career in the Forest Service.
So, my name's Eric Bowie. I'm here to talk a little bit about my background and how I came about and came to Missoula, Montana. So, as you see, this is the campus of the University of Montana, and I'm originally from Kansas City, Missouri. I just happened to be blessed enough to get an athletic scholarship and play basketball for the university here, which, you know, some of the best times of my life, some of the greatest memories of my life are centered around this campus. Now, the thing that has kept me here, though, has been my employment with the Forest Service. I mean, never in a million years would I have thought that I would actually be working for the Forest Service, and it was just one of those things that I jumped all in with the career, and it's kind of taken off. So, you know, it's a situation where sometimes you might want to think about getting out of your comfort zone and trying something different, because it can be beneficial.
Now, people ask me, in Montana, what is there to do other than the forest? So I got, you know, that one and only Eric Bowie, known for his segment, What to Do and What Not to Do. And I got his homeboy Jordan. What's up?
How you doing?
All right. AKA JB. But it's all good. He got, you know, John B. JB, but we gonna talk about that later. So, Eric, tell us what's up, man.
So we're out in front of two of the happening spots here. We got Plunk on one side, and we got Faruqi's on the other side. Real great night spots, you know, for Wayne, just exhibiting the nightlife. And, you know, it's a great contrast of styles, because you got sophisticated right here and you know, kind of a little bit more down to earth, I guess.
You got the Trump Towers, and then you got 8 Mile. That's kind of the difference that you're getting there.
Did you hear that? Did you hear Trump Towers, 8 Mile, split by a green wall? What's up? That's how we roll. The important thing with this, the important thing is, you know, a lot of times people say, hey, I don't want to go out outside my norm. But if you want a little bit of that hip hop, a little bit of that soul, a little bit of just kicking it a little bit, they have it here in Missoula. What you think, homie?
I think that's spot on, Wayne.
All right. Well, I tell you what, folks, we're going to roll to our next destination. Just kind of take a little walk around the city. We're going to roll on. And coming from Kansas City, where you know the city life, being out here in Montana, tell me about some of the life in the city in Missoula.
Well, it's not what you think. You know, a lot of people have this perception of Montana that it's just a bunch of sticks and not much to do, but that couldn't be further from the truth. You know, we're here in Missoula, which is actually a college town, and it's been voted one of the top 20 college towns in America. So there is nightlife. You got a lot of things. You got live concert, live music. You've got a lot of pubs and things that you can go to, and it's just a great atmosphere.
Also, you know, I heard that the Roots were out here, and you know, you know, tell me a little bit about that.
Well, we just recently had a couple concerts where the Roots were here, and also Tyler, the Creator. So, you know, for the younger generation that has some questions and saying, hey, you know, am I going to be cut off from society? No, you're not.
Cool. Well, I know you're going to take us around and show us a couple different spots to look at, you know, just kind of we'll do it Bowie style, right?
Right, what to do.
because we're not gonna do what not to do. So we're gonna walk on.
Are you still down? Urban American Outdoors, coming your way after these.
Missouri, a state where mighty rivers meet and forests grow tall, where our most basic resources provide natural health, recreational wealth, and economic strength. At the Missouri Department of Conservation, we work with and for you to keep the outdoors healthy. Conservation helps people discover nature. You care, we serve, it pays. Conservation.
Let me tell you some of the reasons people get into trouble with credit cards. A job loss or salary cut, an unexpected expense. Consolidated Credit helped over 5 million people just like you. We can reduce your interest rates, cut your monthly payments, and help you get out of debt fast. The time to call Consolidated Credit is now. When debt is the problem, we are the solution.
Call Consolidated Credit now.
Call 800-339-9334.
My name's Carly Lewis, and I'm a wildlife biologist on the Lolo National Forest here in western Montana. Wildlife biologist is a mixed bag. We do all kinds of different stuff. Some days, I have to admit, I spend most of my day at the computer writing up reports, analyzing data, working with spreadsheets. But the fun part of my job is going out and actually collecting the data, and that's going out looking for wild animals. Today we're up in the Patty Canyon Recreation Area, and this is an area right outside the town of Missoula, Montana. And as you can see, there's all kinds of trails here. People love to come up here and hike, mountain bike. And it's an area where where the Forest Service did a timber sale or a forest restoration project a few years ago. And before we started that project, we came out to do surveys for various different sensitive and endangered species that may be in the area. So we would know if they were here and if we needed to take any measures to protect them. So on one of those initial surveys, we detected a pair of nesting goshawks. Now, a goshawk is a forest raptor. It's about the size of a red-tailed hawk that people may be more familiar with. They'll sit about this big. Their wingspan will be about yay big. They're dark slate gray in color and have red eyes when they're adults. So that's kind of some, it is pretty cool, and it's kind of scary too. Goshawks are territorial birds. That means that they will nest in a certain area and they don't want anybody else in their area, especially not other goshawks, but sometimes not even people when they're on a nest. So they can get quite aggressive if someone is around their nest, especially another goshawk. But they will nest in one certain part of their territory, and they love to nest in big trees, big diameter trees with big branches, because they have to build a good-sized nest to hold 2 big birds and their chicks. So they'll find a good nest tree, and they will protect that nest tree in that nesting area against any invaders. So in order for us to find them and figure out where they might be nesting, we come out and we pretend like we're a goshawk that's going to invade their territory. Now, I don't go flap, 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 I'm a goshawk. I actually have this special call box here. That has a recording of a goshawk warning call that sounds just like a goshawk coming into the other one's territory. So when we're doing goshawk surveys, we come into an area and we play this call at pre-established survey points that are about 300 meters apart, and we play that and see what happens. 99% of the time, nothing happens. We just play it, we write down a 0 on our data sheet and we hike on to the next point. But if we do get in close to a goshawk nest, things can get exciting. The birds will start to squawk back at us and even start dive bombing, and they'll swoop down and try to run you out of their territory. So I have been attacked in this area before by this pair that's been nesting here. We've been following them. So I told you that we did surveys here before the logging happened back in 2007. And I've been following these birds ever since. This is us mimicking an invader. We're on the trail of one now. And that's actually a nest from a few years ago, right up in that large tree. Let me walk up that way a little bit more and see. So we monitor their populations to let us know, are we doing a good job of managing the ecosystem that they rely on.
I'm Yvette Ortega, and I'm an ecologist with Rocky Mountain Research Station. I've been involved in research for about 15 years. I came straight here from grad school. Cool. I am very comfortable now in working outside in natural systems, but I actually come from Los Angeles, and my exposure to nature growing up was Disneyland and the Matterhorn, a mountain. But really I was exposed to, that's how I first got interested in nature. I was really into the fireflies on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, et cetera, et cetera. So I had it in me, and I was lucky enough to be exposed when I was in college. I was exposed to real nature, and I couldn't believe how fascinating and fun it was to, you know, whoa, fireflies really exist and they're even cooler, you know, live. So I feel like I'm a person that was, I don't know, saved, or, you know, my inner passion was untapped because I was lucky enough to just get exposed to nature. I get to study how things connect, and specifically plants and animals, and how we humans influence these connections. Invasive species are a major focus of what we do. Invasive species that come to us from faraway lands, can sometimes go gangbusters basically when they get here. So part of what we're doing is trying to figure out why they do that, why they go gangbusters, what the impacts are. Is it a big deal to have this foreign species here or not? And if it is a big deal, what can we do about it in a productive manner? So outside we have an experiment going. It's a pretty neat way to focus on a couple key issues. And the key issues we're focusing in on are, for one particular invasive species, we're trying to figure out kind of what makes it tick, and whether or not by shutting off water, basically droughting these plants and changing the climate that these plants are existing in, if we can turn this super invader into a docile little, meek little plant.
My name is Dean Pearson. So I'm a research scientist and ecologist. In particular, I'm a community ecologist here at the Rocky Mountain Research Station. And what community ecology means, at least from my perspective, is basically I try and understand how systems come together. So when you look at a grassland or a forest and you see the plants and the organisms that you see there, I try and understand, why is it that this one is dominating this landscape? Why is this species so abundant and this species so rare? What sort of interactions between those organisms and what their environment are creating that situation? I guess one of the most pertinent things that's happening right now that we're doing is we're working internationally to try and understand exotic species invasions. And so exotic species are coming into our systems. They're having huge impacts. One of the very positive aspects of this sort of applied science that we get is we get to improve the system. We get to apply something to learn new science that actually helps people do better on the ground managing. Much like in medicine and medical research, the guy that does the new medical breakthrough gives it to the doctors. The doctors can do a better job of benefiting their patients and bringing people, getting people healthier and so forth. And it's the same thing in these systems. And so I think a big positive aspect of applied stuff, like coming to do research for the Forest Service, is that you're not just doing the nerdy science stuff, which is really fun and enjoyable for that nerd inside of you, but you're also actually contributing to better this management of these systems, much like we try and do in medical science, and that has a huge benefit for society. So.
Totally incredible to be out here learning about science, research, fire, jobs, and career in the Forest Service. You know, when you sit back and realize all the opportunities that are there available for you, it's absolutely amazing. So I suggest that you come out, investigate, try it, but most important, do it Urban American style. I'm Wayne Hubbard, and I'll see you next time on the Urban American Outdoor Show.
Best thing that ever happened to me.
I'm happy with the way I look now.
I'm very excited about my hair.
I feel beautiful.
I love my hair.
Hair Club offers all proven hair loss solutions backed by our commitment to satisfaction guarantee. If you're not 100% satisfied with the solution you choose, Hair Club will apply the purchase price to another proven hair loss solution or transplant more hair at no charge.
And it was the best thing I've ever done.
It looks good on me.
Call in the next 5 minutes to get your free brochure at no obligation. It will tell you everything you need to know about your hair loss problem, and it's free if you call now.
I am more pleased than what I had even imagined.
I at least look, I would say, 5 years younger.
I'm 52, and I look better now than I did when I was in my 40s.
I feel great.
And that's not all. The first 100 people who call will also receive $250 off any hair loss solution from Hair Club. Call now.